Welcome to the $1 million winner-take-all, the basketball tournament. Game 2 from the James Madison region. It is the Happy Valley Hoopers, the top seed, and the Raleigh 919 Legends. Eric Duick alongside Joey Lane. Joey, this is our first look at a reigning quarterfinal team today.
Absolutely, and definitely the favorite on paper for the James Madison Regional. Happy Valley Hoopers with their GM and star player, John Hara. Averaged a double-double in college, playing out in Japan. A phenomenal team, a collection of Penn State alumni who I faced a bunch of in college, going up against a relatively unknown Raleigh 919 Legends team looking to prove themselves in this illustrious tournament.
And we look at the rules for the basketball tournament. It's a little bit of a combination of FIBA and college and the NBA.
4 9-minute quarters, the 6th foul obviously fouling you out, different than in college. You'll see some interesting goaltending rules where guys can knock it off the rim, and then of course the Elam ending, which everybody loves so much and what makes the tournament so special.
Who are a couple guys you want to spotlight in this one, Joey?
I already mentioned John Hara. The other guy that I want to mention is Greg Lee on the Happy Valley Hoopers. He's the focus offensively for this team, as well as one of the focuses for Raleigh 919 as they go up against him on the other end. Look at Anton Gill as a guy, as their team leader, their coach on the court, the head of the snake for the fresh team in the basketball tournament.
We got some fire jerseys in this one. I like the look right now. The visual on the court is just beautiful. And this is a beautiful building as well.
Should be a really fun matchup here. You know, if you were with us for our previous game, two teams that really were getting up and down, you know, a fast pace. I'd be very surprised if we saw the exact same thing. You think about Penn State, if you're a college basketball fan, and how they like to play. They're going to slow it down, they're going to muck it up, and they're going to try to knock you out slowly but surely with a bunch of jabs before that knockout blow.
Happy Valley Hoopers in the blue and 919 Raleigh Legends in the white. They're just running through some rules on the public address, and then I think we're all set to go.
Fair amount of Happy Valley / Penn State fans here in the arena in what's been a great atmosphere so far at James Madison, and finally get a chance to look at one of, as we mentioned before, the favorites in the tournament this year.
Happy Valley Hoopers, Raleigh 919 Legends in the $1 million winner-take-all the basketball tournament. Raleigh in white and the Happy Valley Hoopers, the Penn State alumni, in the blue. A lot of hand fighting, but Sproul misses the turnaround, and rebound for Penn State. Lee, a quick shot. What do you like about this Raleigh team on paper, the 8th seed?
Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns, truthfully. There's a lot of unknowns, and we're going to learn a lot. But the man with the ball right here is such a huge part of what they're going to try and do in slowing it down and making great decisions, as he makes a great pocket pass there to Okiki for a quick 2. you know, we're just being totally straight up and honest, and it's one of the best parts about the tournament is that these teams come out of relatively nowhere, and Raleigh looking to be one of the first teams to do that and the first team this year.
Ball the other way. Raleigh 919 Legends calls a horn set. Hunter buries a three. And a hot 5-0 start for the Legends.
And Hunter doing a great job of hunting his shot there, coming off that ball screen with a ton of purpose. Stepping right into that shot so confidently. Has great touch from beyond the arc, especially off the dribble.
And he's a Raleigh native. Happy Valley Hoopers, their third year in the basketball tournament. Hara, known for his offensive rebounding, draws the foul.
And John Hara's a guy who I've grown to know very well over the years, having many battles with him from my time at Ohio State. And what's so impressive about his game is his motor. And that's something that travels, that's something that translates. He plays so incredibly hard, and his MO, like you said, is offensive rebounding. And he led the country in offensive rebound percentage when he was at Penn State. His senior year, he averaged a double-double, which you don't see that from non-quote-unquote superstars in the NCAA basketball.
First Penn State player to average a double-double since 2000.
And he is beloved, let me tell you. I've spent some time with him, and you can't be around him for more than 10 minutes without kids coming up for autographs or asking for a picture. And another guy who's incredible on defense that spent a lot of time with John Hara out in Happy Valley is Jamari Wheeler, number 55, now with the ball, bringing it up. Also spent some time at Ohio State where he ended his career, but we won't mention that too often. But he was beloved in Columbus as well for his defensive tenacity. And what he's really gained since becoming a pro is a great jump shot.
Hara, another offensive rebound. Two-time Big Ten leader in offensive rebounding. Jamari Wheeler, a deep three.
How great would that have been if I just said he improved his jump shooting and he made that? Come on, Jamari.
You had to get the Ohio State reference in there, didn't you?
Early and often, early and often.
Former Buckeye captain Joey Lane. But it's the rival Nittany Lions on the floor. Greg Lee with a strong board. He's a returner to the squad. Hara, the general manager. Good player too, but doesn't show it. It's funny, you mentioned John Hara being a great guy. I asked him, who are the guys we can expect to play the most? He's starting, and he didn't even mention himself.
That's just his game, though, right? Like, no one thinks about him. He's not the top guy in the scouting report, but he impacts the game at such an incredibly high level. And you wouldn't realize it until you go and roll the ball out and start playing, that he impacts the game way more than the box seat presents.
Curtis Jones off the offensive board. Greg Lee can't save it. Ball to the Raleigh 919 Legends.
Now, Raleigh 919, phenomenal start. It's 7-1. They're getting every shot that they want on offense. But on the flip side, Happy Valley is getting some great looks, and their size is really an impact, not necessarily on the defensive end, but rebounding. They've already gotten 3 offensive rebounds. They're getting great looks at the rim because of it. Something to watch here moving forward.
919, a Raleigh area code.
The Raleigh area code, everyone would say.
Is there like some kind of shade between the two Raleigh area codes? I don't know.
Well, it's been the area code since about 1950, I believe, and they've added more area codes, just like Chicago. There's 312 and 773 and 847, but everyone comes back and say, oh, if you're from Raleigh, you're from the 919. You're not from the 989. You're from the 919.
Okay. Who uses area codes anymore anyway?
This TBT team.
Okay, Joey, nice one. Getting our clock fixed.
Little shot clock issue, we're good to go. This game has been a little bit more free-flowing so far, a little bit more skillful offensively, maybe you could say.
Sproul. Myron Jones with the rebound. Myron is 0, Curtis is 1, no relation there. Is that a foul on Hera? No signal yet.
No, look, they're checking the shot clock again. There's an issue. It's
right.
down to 5. If I know John Hera, he didn't push off for that rebound, right? Checking the shot clock here, and you mentioned Myron Jones. You ask any Penn State guy, and you can go down the list of a ton of phenomenal shooters in recent years from guards, and you mentioned guys like Taylor Battle, and the list goes on and on. Myron Jones is one of those guys that when he was hot, he was smoldering. And I mean, it's impossible for this guy to make 1 3 in a game, because if he makes 1, he's making 5. And he's one of those guys that I know he missed that first one there, but every time he shoots it, you almost assume it's going in. There are very few guys that you find, whether it's TBT or elsewhere. He's top of the list in this game.
Here he is. 4 games last year for the Happy Valley Hoopers. He scored 16 in 3 of them. Hera with a strong jam.
Now that's John Hera basketball for you. Setting a great screen to free himself open, in a perfect pocket pass for Myron Jones, who proves he can do a little bit more than just shoot.
Sproul can't answer. Hera again. And he's fouled. Former Army tight end football commit showed you the hands there before he changed his commitment to Penn State basketball, where he is so beloved by Nittany Nation. John Hera, 21 in the blue, the general manager of this team. He first learned about TBT through his former video coordinator at Penn State, Grady Eifert, who had played on a Purdue team, recruited Hera to that team as a last-minute ad right out of college for Hera. And Hera said, we need a Penn State team too. And this is year 3, fresh off a quarterfinal appearance a year ago.
And it's a very funny story that goes a little bit deeper, because my time with TBT spent more so doing inside TBT with my good friend Andrew Zolden. We got to meet John at the regional out in Dayton where Purdue was playing, and John pulled us aside immediately and said, this is awesome. We have to get a Penn State team in this. And I was like, yeah, here's my number, man. Just text me. We'll get it figured out. Sure enough, as soon as the tournament was over, he texted me, and they were just about 8 months away as he goes and gets the offensive rebound from having a team and having the next tournament, and he was already fielding his roster and getting connected with the right guys at TBT to do so.
Joey Lane, former Ohio State captain. Merrick Dewick as Alex Hunter buries a 3.
Now, there's going to be a theme for Raleigh 919 here. I know I mentioned Anton Gill. Throw that to the wayside, because it's all Hunter and all Sproul here offensively, and the rest of the guys are going to play their role, and that's defensive rebounding, but not a lot of rebounding there. As Greg Lee has not been shy so far tonight, and finally gets his first bucket to go.
He shot 65% from 3 in TBT last year.
Only 65?
Only 65. Little traffic. Layup goes.
Great finish and great, despite the great wall up by Hera. Penn State so known for defense in the college basketball ranks that they've developed these guys that were defensive first guys who have now got that offensive game going. It's what makes this team so dangerous.
Wheeler can't splash it. The Nittany Lions slow from the offensive side so far. Some subs ready to check in. Lee, another. Hits.
So silky smooth, and another great action offensively where Penn State using the pick and roll to their advantage, and a great roll up by Greg Lee to find the open spot and knock it down.
Good extension from Sproul on that layup. Lee, nifty.
Number 5 in Navy is feeling himself, and rightfully so. It took him a little bit of time to get going, but he's off to the races now.
With 8. Leonard with a push shot, swishes.
Travion Leonard, very smooth release from the big fella. Great hands, great find by Sproul, and you can tell Leonard, number 33 in white, has made that shot a time or two.
Jones doesn't get the drop, but a foul called. First time out of the game, 16-11, the Raleigh 919 Legends with the lead in the $1 million winner-take-all the basketball tournament. It's the $1 million winner-take-all, the basketball tournament, year 12. Year 1, though, from the James Madison region. Happy Valley Hoopers, a returning quarterfinalist. Down by 5, but you can tell the talent is still there.
Yeah, and that last 2-3 minute stretch, which was really just Greg Lee's practice shooting session, has really proven to me that, yeah, they had a slow start, but they've got it in the tank. And you know, Raleigh 919 is going to give everything they have in this game, but, you know, guys are seeded a certain way for a reason, right? And there's a reason why this Nittany Lion Penn State alumni team is seeded number 1 in this region.
Year 3 for the Happy Valley Hoopers. Lost their first game in their first year before last year's quarterfinal appearance.
What's most impressive about this team is, in this day and age of TBT where you're an alumni team, but you have 4 or 5, maybe 6 guys, half your roster are alumni. Every guy out there on the floor right now is a Penn State guy, and that's really impressive. And it goes a long way. It's more important than you think it is.
That's a very nice compliment from a former Ohio State captain.
Yeah, and also Juwan Daniels did not play at Penn State, so I'm wrong in my remark. I just realized he is fresh into the game here. But
other than that,
the point still stands that, yeah, listen, Ohio State bias aside, right? You know, Penn State is a great program with great alumni, and it's really impressive when, you know, the teams are made up of all alums.
Watkins fights it up. HBCU crew labeled on the back of those Raleigh jerseys. Leonard with the nice touch again.
Big number 33 in white. The footwork, the touch, the finesse, very impressive from the big fella.
Josh Reeves off the bench. Not even close.
It's always tough when the first time you touch the ball fresh into the game is a catch and shoot three. Usually you want to take a touch first to get yourself involved, and Josh Reeves just trying to get right into the party there.
Offensive rebound in a bucket. Happy Valley Hoopers can hold for one here. Myron Jones splits two. Watkins rocks the rim.
Another great play by Myron Jones, known mostly as a shooter, now a playmaker.
Hunter can't hit from deep. After one, the Happy Valley Hoopers down 5 in the $1 million winner-take-all, the basketball tournament. Basketball tournament. Leonard blocked by Watkins. Your first quarter thoughts, Joey?
Yeah, you gotta love what Raleigh 919 is doing, and Omar Jabi has been a huge catalyst off the bench with 4 points and a few assists now as well. Between him and big man Leonard, they've been dialed in on the offensive end. Penn State's just got to settle in. You know, they've got the bench mob in right now for them, and the tide should turn soon, but the way Raleigh 919 is playing, it's been very impressive.
Leonard for three. John Harris said Dalian Johnson with the ball right here has been stellar in training camp. Let's see if it translates. Reeves off balance maneuvers it in.
And now that's a part of Josh Reeves' game that is new as a professional. And in college, he was always going to guard the other team's best player and be an athlete, slasher, but what a nifty finish right there through the contact.
Johnson shows those skills.
And Johnson's fresh out of college, right? He's got the fresh legs. He doesn't even know what professional basketball is, and yet here he is playing for $1 million and doing so in an awesome nature.
Leonard can't answer. Daniels, in and out. Offensive foul. Former Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, Josh Reeves, takes the charge.
Now that's the Josh Reeves that every Big Ten basketball player like myself knows, and I say loves, but fears. Because between Mike Watkins, Jamari Wheeler, and Josh Reeves, those are all Big Ten defensive team members. And obviously, you just mentioned it, Reeves won the award back when I was in school. And I see him in my nightmares still from the bench, because his Penn State teams with Tony Carr and a lot of the guys you see on the court now caused me literal nightmares in college.
Josh Reeves, former 74th ranked recruit out of Oak Hill. Undrafted, but signed a two-way contract with the Mavs and played 4 regular season NBA games as well as 2 playoff games. Sill thought about 3. Reeves harasses him. And a foul. By the way, speaking of Big Ten rivals, I do want to thank you for flying us in on your private jet with that Ohio State NIL money you got.
Yeah, totally. Quite the trip we took into beautiful Shenandoah Airport here. 16 passengers on the plane in what was basically a converted CJ2 for all you plane nerds out there. CJ200, I should say. Very fun trip. We came in style, that's for sure.
And to be fair, Joey was pre-NIL, and I think they were saving the money for the other players anyway.
That's exactly right.
Jabby off the window.
Omar Jabby has done whatever he's wanted to do so far in this game, getting in the paint for himself and making plays for others. Really great start for number 21 in white.
Wheeler actually played for Penn State and Ohio State. Extra pass. A lot of contact and the foul called. Jarris Hamilton to the stripe.
Really great ball movement and player movement there from the Happy Valley Hoopers. So unselfish, a lot of these guys. And again, to harp on it, when you've played together for 2, 3, 4 years in college, you know, the continued success that you had shows on the court, right? And the unselfishness and the playing for each other and playing for something bigger than just yourself. It's definitely showing through here so far for the Happy Valley Hoopers.
Who are doing this without Andrew Funk and Isaiah Brockington, both at Summer League. But if you win, those guys can join you. Those would be huge additions.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brockington playing with the Clippers, Funk out in Vegas as well. Brockington, they expect to be here a little bit later, but Funk, if they win this game, they think there's a chance he plays in the next one.
And he can really shoot the ball. Soak in that guy, Scott Sill.
Every time Scott Sill has caught the ball on a pick and pop, the whole Happy Valley team is yelling, shooter, shooter, and the contests have been really good so far, not allowing a shot, but you see why they were yelling shooter, shooter. Number 11 White can really stroke it.
Raleigh 919 Legends, a North Carolina-based expansion team for the upcoming American Basketball Association season. Their first year in TBT. Sill again. Yes!
The bank is open here on James Madison's campus. Just a testament to if you see one go through, you assume everyone's going in.
Back at you. I'm glad you confirmed the bank for me because it was such an unusual angle to bank from. I thought I saw that too, and I'm glad it wasn't me. Again!
And they're just leaving him open that time. It was almost daring him after making 2 threes in a row. Almost hard to believe, but wow, are we seeing a completely different game than the one we saw earlier this afternoon. The offense is flowing. The buckets are being scored. What a great brand of basketball we're watching here at the TBT.
In the $1 million winner-take-all, the basketball tournament. Scott Sill from 9 minutes per game at Delaware State to 3 first-half threes in the $1 million the basketball tournament. There's good guys at all levels. Lee can't can it. And the foul called. I thought you told me John Hera never pushes off.
He never pushes off because if you push off every single time, they can't call it every single time. And he's the definition of having a nose for the basketball, and he pursues it. And it's almost like there's a magnet to him because guys that play hard get rewarded. And definitely a little shove in the back there, but that's not going to stop him from going the next time.
Hera, the general manager of this Happy Valley Hoopers team. Now Lee's really on him. Good cut and finish.
How good is that basketball? Scott Sill understanding to pick up the ball, get it to a guard, and then the free-flowing and cutting, using Penn State's ambush defense as a disadvantage to them and getting the open layup.
Hamilton. Hera, another offensive rebound. A lot of contact. Hamilton, little push shot. Volleyballed around. Stays Happy Valley Hoopers. Lee, still no. This is a big 3 minutes for the reigning quarterfinalists. Down 10. And Wheeler just kicks the ball out of bounds due to maybe a dislocated finger. I think he
dislocated his finger. I can see it from here, and I don't want to see it again. But, yeah, he had to just kick it out of play because he couldn't grab it.
Timeout on the floor. This one, the media timeout, unrelated to the injury. But the Penn State alums down 10 in the $1 million, the basketball tournament on YouTube. Jamari Wheeler now receiving treatment for that dislocated finger, and to just push the ball out of bounds, that had to hurt. Any bad finger injuries for you back in the day?
Plenty, and actually had the same thing happen to my pinky, so I feel his pain. And as another tough two goes down for Raleigh 919, doesn't seem like that's an injury that it's easy to come back into the game to, regardless how tough a player is, and Jamari Wheeler is as tough as they come. So we'll see if we can get an update for you guys.
Curtis Jones, splash. That is much needed.
You said it, just a monster three. So important to stop the bleeding a little bit as we approach halftime, because Raleigh 919 is firing on all cylinders right now.
Another shot goes for the Raleigh Legends.
And I've sat here and talked so highly about Penn State's defense, and they've got defensive player of the years all over the court and guys that play so hard, blah, blah. Raleigh 919, they do not care. The Legends do not care about any attributes for these teams or any accolades.
Raleigh 919 Legends in the white. Hunter probes into a jumper and connects.
Alexander Hunter is absolutely dominating this basketball game, getting to wherever he wants on the floor, whether it's from the three-point line or those pull-ups, leading the game with 10 points.
Craig Lee, too strong. Alex Hunter with a Furman record 318 career triples. Pope again, not 2 in a row for him. Halfway down. That would have been a 15-point deficit for the Happy Valley Hoopers. Myron Jones doesn't get the drop. First year in TBT, but it doesn't show. And Sproul proves that.
At some point, if you're the Happy Valley Hoopers, you got to draw a line in the sand and say, here we go, it's time to defend. And it's not enough to just keep scoring on offense if you can't stop them on the other end. All credit to Raleigh 919. They are taking it to the #1 seed right now.
And John Harris says defense our identity. Maybe a little 2-for-1 here. Watkins to the stripe. Stop and a score if you're the Happy Valley Hoopers. That's the formula.
Anything that can give you a little bit of juice going into halftime, because right now, you look at the sideline, maybe it's Jamari Wheeler's injury. It's definitely in part the fact that they're down 15. Not a lot of talking, not a lot of energy on that Penn State alumni bench. Whereas on the flip side, you see all the Raleigh 919 legends dapping each other up and talking to each other, and there's clearly more energy on that side of the floor. Hopefully Penn State can take something to the locker room here.
And 2 missed free throws doesn't help. Sproul. Strong board. Curtis Jones. And a foul on Watkins over the back.
And there were similar circumstances in the last game where there's no excuse to not understand time and score and possession right there. With 32 seconds left on the clock, to not get the last shot of the half when you're down 15 and give up another possession feels so silly to me. And now, on the flip side, Raleigh 919 can extend the lead to 18 going into halftime.
Inside 10 seconds. Sproul. Lost it. Myron Jones. 1 and doesn't get a shot off. 43-28. The Raleigh 919 Legends, the 8th seed. A huge lead on the reigning quarterfinalist Happy Valley Hoopers in the $1 million winner-take-all the basketball tournament. You're watching the $1 million winner-take-all, the basketball tournament. Happy Valley Hoopers, the #1 seed, down 15 to the newcomer, Raleigh 919 Legends. Joey, the Penn State alums just looked a little flat in that first half.
Yeah, no doubt. And coming out of halftime, their GM, John Herrick, came over to me and said, look, man, it's pretty simple. This is the TBT. You got to play every single game, regardless of what these seeds are. And you see that now. We got a fresh new lineup for the Happy Valley Hoopers going small here to start the second half.
Lee, little contact. Raleigh 919 Legends in the white and the Happy Valley Hoopers in the navy. Pope can't extend the lead. Curtis Jones steps into a three.
Looks like foot on the line there for Curtis Jones, but nonetheless a big bucket for the Happy Valley Hoopers, who, yeah, they're down 13 now, but they're also down their starting point guard because it looks like Jamari Wheeler, it's going to be tough for him to return to this game with a hurt finger.
How did the Happy Valley Hoopers chip away at this deficit?
Starts on the defensive end because, as we talked about a little bit during the break, they look disinterested at times on the defensive end, which is so not like a Penn State alumni team. And it's been a decent start to the half. The ball's moving well, and they've gotten some good looks. But it's all on the defensive end. You have to get stops. And if they get stops, they can get out in transition and get easy buckets. And that's how the game starts to flow. And that lead goes from 15 to 10 to 5. And before you know it, it's a brand new ball game.
Lee with 8 on the shot clock. Bullies in for 2.
Tempers flaring a bit here in what's been a highly competitive game. A double technical foul called. Greg Lee and Okiki, the guilty parties there. What a strong move from Greg Lee, and maybe that's the fire that Penn State alumni team, the Happy Valley Hoopers, that might be what they need to get going here in this second half. The first time I've seen the whole bench up and clapping since a few minutes into that first quarter.
Raleigh 919 Legends in the white. A first-year TBT team up 13 on a reigning quarterfinalist and #1 seed, Happy Valley Hoopers. Pope extends the lead.
And Pope's been shooting it well all night. The fact that he can have a catch-and-shoot look off of one pass, bringing the ball up the court, seems incredible to me.
Lee, too strong, but a putback for Daniels.
There's a little bit of more juice on this Penn State alumni team right now, and you can feel it in the crowd as well with their fans sitting just over our left shoulder. The enthusiasm, the claps are getting a little bit louder.
And that's a rare miss for Hunter. He was the star of that first half.
And I can't believe that didn't go in. It did everything but end up in the bottom of the hoop.
Too easy for Curtis Jones. And a timeout for the Raleigh 919 Legends. It's down to 12 in the $1 million winner-take-all the basketball tournament on YouTube. Eric Duick, Joey Lane, former Ohio State captain. Joey, take me through the decision for the Happy Valley Hoopers to go small.
Yeah, you know, you think the size is really going to be a huge advantage. And yeah, they had some offensive rebounds at the beginning, but they've struggled on defense. And a lot of the guards and smaller sized guys on the 919 Legends were having their way on the offensive end. This change has resulted in a resounding success so far, as they finally get the rebound there and almost make me eat my words. Offensively, it's been more of the same. They're getting great looks, and as Josh Reeves gets away with the travel there, they're getting great looks like that one right there, and it's all because of that small lineup. Everyone can bring it up. Everyone's a threat from beyond the arc. Just brings a different dynamic on both ends of the court, which is what they need. They need a little shakeup.
A lot of it has been the energy from Curtis Jones. Jones, number 1 in the blue, started his career at Indiana. Myron Jones splashes.
A much-needed 3, obviously, for Happy Valley Hoopers, but Myron Jones finally getting one to go. Like I said before, when he hits threes, they come in bunches.
And Okiki rocks the rim. Myron Jones. Pope pull-up, splash.
The backcourt of Pope and Hunter has been absolutely lethal. I mentioned it about Myron Jones. You assume that the ball's going in every time he shoots. I feel the exact same way about that backcourt.
Greg Lee rattles it in.
What a great start to this half. The ball is flowing, it's popping, there's ball movement, there's player movement. Both teams getting great looks from beyond the arc and at the rim. Just very pure basketball right now happening on the campus of James Madison University.
The first ever James Madison region in the $1 million winner-take-all the basketball tournament. Okiki, a rare jumper. Lee pushes. Turnover for Daniels. And a transition foul on Lee.
A little bit of a miscommunication there between Daniels and Harrow, who John was floating around that, you know, right on the Conference USA logo, which is, you know, right below the free throw line, and Daniels wanted him to cut closer to the top of that cylinder, that circle, the arc right there, and a little miscommunication, and they'll get that corrected.
Sproul strong.
First time we're hearing from Sproul here in this second half with such a force on the offensive end in the first half, and 919 Legends are going to need that all night long to come away with this upset.
Lee, that may have been deflected. Stays Happy Valley Hoopers. Myron Jones with the teardrop.
He gets hot, and he gets hot in a hurry. He is just like a microwave, that Myron Jones, where his points come in bunches. Expect Happy Valley to look for him on the next possession as well.
Jones scored 16 in 3 of the 4 games last year for the Nittany Lion alums. Pope, that's tough. 3-on-1. Hera jams.
Myron Jones rewards the defensive effort for the Penn State Nittany Lions. The alumni team gets out in transition in a perfect find, and John Hera knows exactly what to do with it.
One of the most loved players in Penn State history. Averaged a double-double in his 5th year, the first Nittany Lion to do so since 2000. And Daniels hammered.
And while we're talking about him, why don't we talk about him some more? What a great seal in transition to allow Daniels that open lane and get fouled and get to the line for 2 more points. John Hera rewarded for running in transition one play, rewards his teammate the next with a steal to get him the layup, and they are fired up. The Happy Valley Hoopers are feeling it now.
John Harrah, the TBT fourth-year player, Happy Valley Hoopers general manager, looking for that $1 million. 6 wins to get there. The Happy Valley Hoopers, the 1 seed, down 15 at the half. Now just an 8-point game. Joey, what's different?
The energy, effort, and enthusiasm on defense, which their coaching staff described to us as their calling card, where their foundation is. It's on the defensive end. And now they're showing it with getting stops and getting out in transition for easy looks. It's been layups, it's been wide open threes, a recipe for a ton of success.
Harrah on the baseline, out of bounds, adds 2.
Oh, what a phenomenal out of bounds underneath play coming out of that timeout. A little screen the screener. John Harris slips that last screen and gets the deuce as Penn State doesn't love that call there. The Alumni team there. Aggressive on defense. Playing with a new purpose. And if you recall, at the end of the half, we looked at the Happy Valley bench and said, what in the world is going on? No one's talking to each other. They're all sitting down. They're all moping. It is completely flipped on its head, where now the energy, the effort, the enthusiasm, like I said before, it's a whole new ball game. They can feel it over there.
Sproul can't silence the run. Harrah with the strong board. Other way. Harrah a little out of control, says my bad. By the way, great to see Jamari Wheeler back on that Penn State bench. 55 standing up near the inbound. Ugly dislocation on the left hand in that first half. He seems energized on the bench though, so that's a plus. Leonard bodies on Harrah. Doubled. Foul called.
If you're the Penn State, if you're Happy Valley Hoopers coaching staff right now, you're thrilled because the overzealous, the aggressive nature and fouls that are happening are good. You can live with those fouls. It's the flip side of the coin in the first half when there was no ball pressure, there was no contesting, the rebounds weren't the same, right? That's when the frustration happens, and you can live with a tough, aggressive foul like that knowing that your guys are giving a different level of effort on the defensive end, and it goes a long, long way.
And the Nittany Lions started small to begin this second half, but John Harrah has impacted this game since he's come off the bench.
And he's such an energy, enthusiastic, spark plug, right? It's not always the spark of three-state threes or huge dunks. Now, he did have a big dunk to start this run for the Happy Valley Hoopers, but he is the heart and soul of this team. He not only put it together, but he is the heart and soul, and he has made such a huge impact from the second he came in off the bench, and he's always been that guy. He was coming off the bench for Penn State 3 of his 4 years in college, right? He knows this role well, and he can be a superstar in that role.
Lee. Foul in the backcourt, that aggression again.
Now that one you don't love as much, right? 85 feet away from the basket. And they had the ball already, right, and all that good stuff. But gotta love what the Happy Valley Hoopers are bringing so far in this half, and yet there's the 919 Legends still comfortably in the lead.
Minute 30, third quarter. Jabby, tough, hair of the board. Jones, step back, can't hit. Sproul muscles in. Alex Hunter, 22 in the white, quiet this half. 10 in the first half for the Raleigh 919 Legends, an expansion team of the ABA. Here's Hunter. Quiet no more.
Alex Hunter's such a huge part of what they do offensively, the 919 Legends. It's looking like they're going to need a little bit more of that moving forward here.
Jones open. Bullseye!
Curtis Jones feeling himself as well, a huge catalyst to this run, and back and forth we go here in Harrisonburg.
The former ESPN number 41 recruit, Leonard on the other end. Curtis Jones started his career at Indiana, then went to Oklahoma State, then Penn State. Now the Happy Valley Hoopers. 5 on the game clock. Lee, extra pass, Daniels. 8-point game after 3. The number 1 seed, the Happy Valley Hoopers. Cut it from 15 to 8. More work to do though, and 6 wins from $1 million. Start of the fourth quarter, Raleigh 919 Legends with possession in the white, Happy Valley Hoopers in the blue. 15-point game at half, now down to 8. Joseph Garris, the head coach and general manager for Raleigh. Leonard from 15. Elam ending, first stoppage, Adder under the 4-minute mark. Transition 3. Jabby hesitated. Some good looks for the Happy Valley Hoopers the last couple trips. The 3 to close the quarter, and there from Johnson. Hunter. Another good look. Cashes.
So many great opportunities for the Happy Valley Hoopers to get back into this ball game here already early in the fourth. And as we know, just 4 minutes away from the Elam ending now, every point so crucial.
Sproul gets the drop.
It really does feel like every time the Happy Valley Hoopers go on some sort of run or make some big bucket, the 919 Legends, Sproul in particular, are right there to stifle that run as we see a jump ball, and the Happy Valley Hoopers will retain possession here. Just 3.5 minutes away from the Elam ending, and you look at a 7-point game. If you're the 919 Legends, can you extend that to 10, 11, 12 points? And if you're the Happy Valley Hoopers, can you be tied going into the Elam ending, or a one-possession game? Because that one-possession game, anyone's ball game in the Elam ending.
Lee doesn't hit. Switch. Marcus Oliver sets that screen, and a foul call. Sproul curves in, tough. Back up to 9.
He's just a tough shot taker and a tough shot maker. Really impressed so far this afternoon.
Right into the candy jar for Jawan Daniels.
Right place, right time, and fortune favors those who play really, really hard, and a deserved bucket there for number 22 in blue.
Sill, late contest, too late. Fourth triple.
Scott Sill has been a revelation, unbelievable. Hasn't missed from beyond the arc, and every time he catches it, he's got his chin on the rim looking to knock one down.
Dalian Johnson answers.
And a great timeout as well from the Happy Valley Hoopers, knowing that, hey, at 7 points, it's 2 minutes left, and this is the time. It's now or never to cut in to what will be the target score and ultimately the Elam ending.
Dalian Johnson, former Massachusetts Gatorade Player of the Year, with a huge shot to cut this to 7. That felt like a had-to-have-it possession.
Absolutely, coming off a poor possession defensively, allowing the hottest shooter on the 919 Legends to knock down a 3. You felt that you needed a great possession, and they got a wide open look, and probably the best guy for it at the time right now. And As it comes to defense now for Happy Valley Hoopers, can you get that stop? Can you string a few stops together to make that Elam ending target score as slim a margin as possible?
How do you get over the hump?
They've been trying all afternoon, and you got to string a few stops together. Offensively, they've been really, really solid, the Happy Valley Hoopers have, the entire second half, getting whatever they want. It's just defensively. Can you get 2 or 3 stops in a row and play defense without fouling as well?
Second team foul. Elam ending at or under 4 minutes. First stoppage. You add 8 points to the leading team score. First to reach that target score wins. Sproul, he's been a beast.
Tough shot maker. That is what he's been all afternoon long, and operating in that mid-post area to perfection. Gets the roll there.
Tough shot for Curtis Jones. Empty. Daniels and Sproul. That's a tough shot, not for him.
Sproul is taking this ball game over. He wants the rock, and he is making tough shot after tough shot, and what a response from Hamilton, 30 in Navy. Just a huge bucket there, and now you see Daniels face guarding Sproul. They're not going to allow him to touch the ball the remainder of the regular game, that's for sure.
Remember that shot from Hamilton if the Happy Valley Hoopers get back in this game. It felt like the air had sunk before that make. Jones, yes sir!
What a response from the Happy Valley Hoopers. Every time, it doesn't matter which team. Anytime a team goes on a run, there is always a response. 2 resilient bunches in this ball game. And now comes the game within the game here as it gets to close to under 4. If you're the 919 Legends, do you try and get a quick bucket here? If you're Penn State, do you foul? The answer is they're looking to get a bucket.
And a costly miscue.
And that right there, there's no definitive answer on what you do going into the Elam ending, but that was the first time all game where the 919 Legends looked like a first-year team in the TBT, because you see what Happy Valley's about to do. They're coming over, and they're either going to call a timeout or they're going to try and get a bucket and call a timeout at the same time.
Myron Jones, good.
And they're not going to use the timeout to get into the Elam ending. They're just going to play it out. What do I know, Eric? I know nothing. I'm not coaching.
And you can't foul now on purpose, because then you're going to the bonus on your next foul. So there's your timeout from the Raleigh 919 Legends. We've got a game, Joey Lane. It's the $1 million winner-take-all, the basketball tournament. Elam ending, first team to 79 wins it on YouTube. Elam ending about set to begin in the $1 million winner-take-all the basketball tournament. First team to 79 wins. Game clock is off. You still have a shot clock. Happy Valley Hoopers on the defensive end, down 5. The number 1 seed, a reigning quarterfinalist. 10 on the shot clock now. Sill, kick out. Okiki, 5, 4. Hunter too strong. Jones. And it's Happy Valley Hooper ball. Yeah, it was tough to tell who batted that.
Tipped out by the 919 Legends there, just trying to get it out of the scrum. And it gets a little tense, this part of the game, Eric. Gets a little tense.
Jones from deep. Little push off. Tough 2, not for him.
And I know they got that one to go, but Happy Valley Hoopers not doing themselves any favors with the shot quality so far. 2 deep threes and a tough contested 2, but it doesn't matter. It's all about this end right now.
Sproul, Sill, he's hot. Happy Valley Hoopers can tie. Jones into contact, cuts it to 1.
And we've got ourselves a ball game here in Harrisonburg. You can feel the palpable buzz in the air.
Happy Valley Hoopers down 15 at the half. Hunter, he had 10 in the first half. Pope answers.
Automatic from the mid-range. Pope all game. A very important basket as they get just 6 points away from advancing.
Jones accelerates, too strong. Missed a layup. Out of bounds.
Every possession is so important. The magnifying glass is out for every possession. The game slows down. Everyone tenses up like we've alluded to. Turnovers are an absolute killer. You need a shot at getting points closer towards that target score.
Jones, pull up. A lot of tough shots, like you said. And they needed that Curtis Jones layup in a bad way. Tough matchup here. Sproul can't take advantage. Hera. Deep position. Too strong. John Hera forces a timeout. First team to 79 wins in the $1 million winner-take-all the basketball tournament. What are we looking for down the stretch?
It's a brand new ball game now, right? With Happy Valley Hoopers 7 points away, Raleigh 919 Legends obviously 6. It gets to a point where every possession is so important. And whoever has the momentum, it goes a long, long way. Raleigh 919 Legends, you are fine where you are right now. It's all about possession at a time. Get a great look here. Find Sproul. You live and die with a shot from him at this point, right? Maybe it's a Pope mid-range. Obviously, Hunter handling the ball. And if you're on the other side, Happy Valley Hoopers, continue what you're doing. The energy and effort is there. They've gotten plenty of stops so far in this Elam ending. The quality of shot beyond the John Hera bucket just now hasn't been incredibly high, but they've got tough shot makers on that sideline too. We are in for a phenomenal finish here.
Do you play through Sproul right now if you're the Raleigh Legends still?
Absolutely. You live and die with Sproul, like I said before. Now, if he's being face guarded and they're not letting him touch the ball, he's intelligent enough as a basketball player to go find someone to screen. And, you know, sometimes the screener's the guy who gets open. But, yeah, play through Sproul. But you have so many guys who's been so consistent offensively where if they get open looks, you'll take them.
Switch. Sproul contested. Jones avoids the tie-up. Curtis Jones for the lead. That ball off of the Happy Valley Hoopers.
Curtis Jones has never seen a shot that he does not like. He is unafraid. Do I agree necessarily with the shot given time and scenario there? Maybe not. But we'll see if it matters here down the stretch.
Hunter dances, twirls. 10 on the shot clock. No game clock. Pope drops it in.
The unsung hero of this ball game, undoubtedly, is Pope, number 14 in white. Tough bucket after tough bucket. It's been the theme of the whole game. They only need 2 more tough buckets to get into the next round.
Lee spins on Sproul. 3 to tie. Way strong. Hunter, Furman's all-time leader in three-point makes. Pope thought about it. Sill being harassed. Jump ball. Possession stays with Raleigh, but he was being bear hugged. That's a big break for the Happy Valley Hoopers.
A huge break, because a foul there creates the dynamic where a three-pointer wins the game. Still needing 2 buckets, though, if you're the 919 Legends.
Hunter sidesteps and misses. Jones reverses it in.
What a finish. Given the circumstances.
Pope, fade away, back at you.
That is a bad, bad man. Delivering over and over again and putting the 919 Legends just 2 points away as there's a wet spot on the floor, or excuse me, a injury, looks like injury timeout and substitution, as Curtis Jones looks like maybe a cramp there for on his end, and he'll sub out in what's maybe the most important possession of the game.
Here's Myron Jones. You need 2 buckets regardless, so you don't need a 3 here as Lee's blocked. Johnson. Hera, a lot of contact, late foul call. Just the first team foul on the Raleigh 919 Legends.
Penalized for playing hard there was Scott Sill. Doesn't hurt anybody there as Curtis Jones comes back into the game. I was gonna say, it's gotta be a close to a career-ending injury to take him out of this basketball game. He's back in now. No harm, no foul there.
Lee open. Hera offensive board. Curtis Jones. Hera again, and he's fouled.
Whew. Listen, I'm feeling it over here, not even in this game. This means so much to these teams And you can feel it. You just can feel the tension. We've said it 100 times already. John Hara coming to the line with a couple of big, big free throws.
Missed it. Shot 67% from the line in his 5th year at Penn State. 69% this year with Shizuoka in Japan. Really needed both those, though, to make it a one-possession game as far as the Elam ending is concerned.
You said it. The dynamic is very interesting because obviously you want to get closer to the Elam ending, but really what that missed free throw does is if you do get a stop here, and you have to get a stop if you're Happy Valley, if you get that stop, a three-pointer can win you the game if you go 2 for 2 at the line there. Now, however, you still need 2 offensive possessions, which means 2 stops at the very least on defense. And that's exactly what the coach is saying right now in that Happy Valley huddle. You need a stop. And more importantly, once you get the stop, you need the rebound. And once you get the rebound, you do not need a 3. And people say it all the time. Do they need a 3? They do not need a 3. They need 2 buckets, however you can get them.
And Happy Valley Hoopers not in the bonus yet, so you can still be aggressive. The shot and the ball doesn't come into play until you're in the bonus. Great scouting report from the stands there. Don't let Sproul get the ball.
Holy cow, if only Happy Valley had thought about that earlier in the game.
Pope for the win. Ball game! The Raleigh 919 Legends stun the top-seeded Happy Valley Hoopers.
And who else but the man in white, Mr. Pope, doing it all night, the unsung hero, all night long, as consistent as they come. The last 2 buckets for the 919 Legends, sending them into the next round of TBT. And I have a feeling he may get his hands on that bracket and make them another 8 seed advancing in what is one of the biggest upsets in the history of the TBT.
The Happy Valley Hoopers just took too long to try to get it going, Joey.
This is the basketball tournament, Eric. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what seed you are. You better show up, you better play hard, or you're going to be sent home. There's $1 million on the line, and they don't care what name is on that jersey or what seed you are. They're coming for it all. Congratulations and well-deserved to the Raleigh 919 Legends. We'll see them again on Sunday.
It's the $1 million winner-take-all, the basketball tournament. Stay tuned on YouTube. Check out thetournament.com.